Hi, I'm Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making chocolate decorations, and it is a lot of fun to do through a parchment cone, and I'm going to teach you how to make one. So before we get started, I have printed out some heart shapes from the computer. Now you can print out any shape you want, anything from flowers to a tree, anything you want, literally anything you want. It just has to be small enough, and there has to be some joined edges so that actually the chocolate won't fall apart. Now in a double boiler, I've melted some chocolate. It could be bittersweet chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate. I think this is bittersweet chocolate, high quality chocolate. You want to put it into a double boiler. So I have about 1 inch of water that I brought to a boil in a saucepan, and I put a bowl filled with the chocolate into that. You just don't want the bowl to touch the water. You want the steam from the boiling water. Once you take it off the heat, you're going to put the chocolate on it, and you're going to melt that chocolate. Once it's melted, you take it off the double boiler and you wipe it. A lot of people don't do this. They wipe it to get rid of any condensation. Now let's build our parchment cone. So some of you might have done this before and some of you may never have done this before. So we're going back to geometry, okay? So this is a right triangle. So this is a 90-degree angle. You can make this out of parchment, any size you want. This is a big one, and I'm doing that so you can actually see how I'm doing it. You can actually make it smaller if you want as well. So you're going to take the longest side, otherwise known as the hypotenuse, and you're going to pull it towards you and curl it. Curl it in like that until it forms almost a cone, all right? And then you're going to hold on to that, and you're going to take the other piece on the bottom and roll it up so it sort of joins together and forms a cone. And you can also do this a few times if you don't feel like you've gotten it as tight as you want. This little tiny hole, it should be very tiny, almost to the point where you need to open it up with scissors before you start piping. So what I like to do once I get this to the hole size that I want, and I'm actually going to do it again so you can see it, because it can be a little complicated for people. So again, right triangle, any size. You're going to take the long side, you're going to put your thumb in the middle, take the end, the top end, you're going to fold it under so it forms like a cone, all right? The bottom is going to come up, and you're going to slide them together until they form this little tiny hole in the bottom, and then you're going to bend this in and fold it. Bend this in and fold it. And I like to put it into a glass because it stabilizes it for me. I don't need any help. Some people like to tape the parchment as well. But if I fold it and put it into a glass, it holds it stationary for me. So now I'm going to take my melted chocolate, and it's perfectly melted. There's no lumps or bumps. You don't want any lumps or bumps. If there's any lumps or bumps, you're going to have trouble piping it out through that little hole. All right? So we're going to be making hearts, and I'm going to do a little corneli work, little sort of, you'll see sort of like webby, lacy stuff inside the heart to hold it together. So you're going to grab your parchment on either side, and you're going to fold it. So you're going to fold it. And if you see a little chocolate come out through the bottom, that's fine. But it's a very tiny little hole. You're going to see there's not much space for that chocolate to come through. So I'm going to take scissors and do it over the glass, and I'm just going to cut a little bit bigger. Okay, just a little bit bigger. Just leave it on the side. And what I've done is I've taped whatever I want to form into chocolate decorations. In this case, it's hearts. I've taped them down onto a sheet pan. And then I've put a piece of wax paper over that so I can actually see through the wax paper so I can see the heart. And you can actually use this pattern of hearts over and over again. So you're going to go over, and you're going to just let it flow. Okay? Let it flow. And then stop. And then what I mean by the corneli work, you're just going to sort of go in and out. okay? Just so it sort of joins together. Because if the edges don't join, once this cools and hardens, it's not going to come off. The middle will not be attached to the side. So let's do another one. You're going to follow. You can put your name in here. You can put different color chocolate, anything you want. And I've done different patterns, and I've used them to decorate cakes. You can put them on individual desserts, or as you can see in one of my Valentine's Day edition video, I actually put them on my passion fruit mousse tarts. So we'll do one more for you, and then I'm going to show you what they look like. Okay, and then you're just going to do some corneli work in the middle. Make sure it joins the ends, again, the sides, or it will not come off. All right, it's pretty. Now I want to show you something that is not a part of the hearts, but let me show you what else you can do. So you can actually do something like this, like a little triangle, and then form another triangle, and then another triangle. You can do anything you want. You can form squiggles and let that harden and put that into a dessert. You can form anything you want. So my name is Chef Gail. So if I say Gail and all the pieces are joined together, I'm not going to dot my I, that should come off. So if you have a favorite friend named Deb or Debbie or Nancy, you can make their name in chocolate and put it on their dessert. Very cool. So let me show you what I've made. When they harden, this is what they look like. They're beautiful. And you can actually put them on anything you want. Desserts, cakes, anything. And I've even done little decorations like that. So they're beautiful. And they actually are very, very versatile. Just make sure that you let this set in the refrigerator. If you use something that doesn't have a lot of cocoa butter in it and it has mostly vegetable shortening, it should cool at room temperature and be fine to just peel off this paper when it's hardened. Otherwise, if you use regular chocolate with cocoa butter and you don't want to temper it or actually work with those fat crystals and actually stabilize those, because it can be an ordeal to do, just refrigerate them until they harden, level in the refrigerator, and then peel them off. And then store them in the refrigerator until you're ready to use them. All right? So I hope you've enjoyed this video, this teaching video, and I hope you've learned a lot. For more videos and recipes, visit me at gailsokol.com.